Well, joining us from Birmingham is Scott Lucas, Professor of American Studies, and with us in the studio is Beth Gardner, a US commentator and author. And Beth, let's start with you here. How much do you think Mitt Romney has been damaged by these comments?
Well, you know, it's sometimes easy to overestimate the importance of these sort of gaffes. They generate a lot of chatter. We don't necessarily know right away how many votes they're actually moving. But having said that, this is clearly one that has the potential to be very damaging to Romney. You know, they say a gaffe is when a politician says what they really believe. And I think the reason that this one potentially could really resonate is that it touches on something which was already a vulnerability for Romney. The knock on him from Obama is that he's a rich guy who cares about the rich and not the ordinary people. And, you know, from what we've seen now, him talking to this group of very wealthy campaign donors, that seems to be very much the attitude that he was expressing, and that is something that could really hit home with voters.
But is there not the flip side as well, that some commentators have said that actually some of the things that he's expressed is what many Americans actually feel, and by going on record, as it were, saying these comments when he wasn't meant to be filmed, it might actually galvanise some of his supporters to come out and vote? Well,
it certainly may galvanise the Republican base. I think there's been a growing concern there about sort of, you know, slackers that are dragging down the economy. I'm not sure it's a message that's going to resonate with the center, which is who are the voters that he's going to need badly in November. I mean, he gave us the numbers. He's just dismissed 47% of the vote. So that doesn't leave you with much if you need to get to 50.
I mean, Professor, the argument is that you've got people who pay taxes, they're the makers. You've got people who don't and who get benefits from the government, they're the takers. I mean, a lot of people might be astonished to learn that actually Mitt Romney was right. Only about 47% of American adults do pay income tax. Why is that? Professor, can you hear me?
Oh, hello, I'm sorry. Well, I think that in fact, a lot of the people who don't pay income taxes aren't necessarily the poor who are on assistance. You also have to remember that because of the system of tax deductions and loopholes in the US, that a lot of corporations and individuals can reduce the taxes they pay quite significantly. So Romney sort of took a mishmash of statistics to come up with the magical 47%. But Beth's absolutely right. Beyond the fact-checking beyond this, the impression is that Romney is speaking for an elite who basically look down on the poor as being an unnecessary burden. And Beth's doubly right when she says you don't win elections that way. You don't win by playing to your base and playing to, let's say, the rich minority. You win by playing to the center.
And of course, he, in the only year that he has released his tax returns for, he only paid 13%, a rate of 13%.
That's absolutely right, and he has only released a partial selection of his tax returns. He only released a couple of years, and in fact, people have been asking for a lot more when he actually made a lot more money, and that issue is going to be reopened by what he just said.
Okay, thank you both very much indeed. That was Bolton & Co for today. You can catch up with what you missed on the Sky News for iPad app. It should be there already.
Goodbye.